How should you be doing daily ops? How can you make it easier and quicker with every single run? Let me share 17 tips with you. Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. Today I'm going to share some helpful strategies on how to rush daily ops and unlock the new rare rewards. If you're not sure about all of them, check my other video with the 14 daily ops rare rewards. Yes, all of them. Now it's time to get into what matters. Whether you're experienced already or new to daily ops, I can assure you're going to pick up a few things. Who knows, maybe you will even change the way you do daily ops altogether. So let's start. First things first, I want this guide to be inclusive and I feel like some people have no idea where to go, so here's all the repeater and uplink locations for the daily ops right now. If you're familiar with all of them, feel free to skip to point 2 or even 3. Let's start with the boroughs now, by far the one with the most confusing like elements. The repeater is at the cafeteria to the left side of the entrance. It's past the storage room on the table. Now from here you can reach the first uplink at the nearby water canals. There is one at the south and another at the north, at opposite sides. From this point you need to run a lot across the entire sewers, past the throne room, going towards the other water canals. If you're lost, just follow my route here and you should be good to go. Now for the last enemy wave and the boss, you need to run a lot again to reach the last pump station room. Now the boss can spawn anywhere in this area, so make sure to search for it when the time comes. At Vault 94, things are much easier. For starters, the repeater is right at the entrance on the garden table. Then, if you head right past operations, head straight then left towards the reactor's room and you will easily find the first uplink there. The second uplink is in the opposite direct side past the atrium at the greenhouses, at the seed bank room to be exact. Very difficult to miss. The last wave spawns at the atrium and the boss usually spawns near the council room, and as I said, it's an easier location to navigate. Moving forward, we have the Burning Mine, another very straightforward location. The repeater is at the reactor or pump room to the left of the entrance in this small room. Then the uplinks are at extracting places at opposite sides of each other as usual. I like to go back from the repeater location following the train tracks and then heading left until you can find this metal platform. The first uplink is there at the machine. From here, you only need to go straight to the left and then up until you find more machines. The second uplink will be there. For the last wave, you need to reach the middle room between both uplinks. The boss can spawn anywhere in this area, so make sure to search properly. Lastly, we have the Valley Galleria. The repeater is on the first floor in a restaurant just in front of the entrance area, as you can see. From there, head straight left on the first floor still until you find the housewares shop. The first uplink will be inside waiting for you. The second one is all the way to the other side under the boutique. You will need to run a lot though, but it's at the ground level. Now the last wave spawns at the main atrium in front of the entrance, and the boss can again spawn anywhere in the surrounding area. If you were confused before, now you should know every single location for all the repeaters and the uplinks. Next, we have the mutations, which again can be a topic for confusion for some people. I've got some tips for you though. For volatile, just make sure to keep your distance from enemies since they will explode after death and they could damage you in the process. For the freezing touch, there's nothing much you can do other than ensuring your HP is up there, and you can always kill enemies faster than their spawn speed, because if you get multiple stacks of freeze, you won't be able to move at all. Easily way to die, I must say. Now, for the resilient, that's another story. Enemies can only die from a melee hit, but there is a way to speed up things. Not everyone has a melee build, plus most enemies are ranged, making things difficult to manage. While fighting such enemies in a team, you want to have at least one player using their best ranged weapon to deal damage, and then another player will use melee to finish them off. The trick here is to switch targets when they are low HP. Remember, you just want to deal damage if you are on the ranged role. Lastly, to counter the active camouflage, you should look for the enemy names and HP bars on the top to understand where the enemies are coming from. You can also pay attention to where the shots are coming from. As an alternative, you can use berry methods to boost your perception and see enemies with this pink glow. This is a really helpful buff against the stealth mutation. I bet most of you do one daily ops per day and that's it. You just rush to reach Elder mode and you're done for the day basically. What if I told you you're doing it wrong? That's because each reward tier has a percentage to reward you with an unique item. 5% for Initiate, 10% for Paladin, and 80% for Elder. There is always a 20% chance to get nothing from the Elder stage, and that's why a lot of you get no rare rewards sometimes. Now, in theory, if you finish Elder, you unlock the previous stages, and the numbers should all add up. You can even get 2 or 3 rare rewards at once, but that's extremely rare. I only got it once after 50 runs, including the PTS ones. But you know Fallout 76, bugs everywhere, strange things happen all the time, so I highly advise you to finish in Paladin first for that 50% chance combine. You shouldn't expect much here, but the chances are really low, I know. But still, if you think about it, 50% every day in multiple characters if you have ults, it's a lot of extra chances over time. So yeah, after completing daily ops in Paladin, you should go ahead and do it in Elder mode to focus on that 80% chance with no interferences. I used to do Elder mode only and I lost count already on how many days I got nothing. Nothing, zero. I even thought my main character was bugged for a while, and apparently some of you have been experiencing the same. I really think the reward tiers can interfere with one another when you finish all at once, and the result is normally no rewards. So here's my tip. Take it or leave it. It has surely made things better for me, and maybe it will help you as well. You will never know if you don't try, that's for sure. The best way to speed up your daily operation is to simply team up. That's right, no matter how much you may dislike teams, this is how it works. It's not only about killing enemies faster, that counts by a lot, it's also about the uplink progress, which gets boosted by every single player. So as default, a 4-man team can finish much faster than a solo player because the uplink progress will go up by 4 times. Moreover, finding a daily ops team is very easy now. There's usually one up in public servers, so don't be shy, use your emotes if you dislike voice chat, and get your operation going. Well, something important before you enter is to repair your gear and check if you have enough Steam packs. Why? Because daily ops can be quite chaotic. There's no time to rest at all. So if your weapon breaks in the middle of the uplink progress, for example, you won't be able to fire back. Most of the times enemies won't let you repair it either. Plus, you will be wasting precious time. Aid items also ensure you can stay alive, so don't start an operation without Steam packs, especially if you are running a bloodied build. Something else I see a lot is people starting a daily operation and they start it right away. They don't wait for other players or even give them time to load in. Now, this is not a great idea because, again, you will be wasting precious time. By rushing, you are not allowing other players to prepare or even aid your strategy. Why would you want to be alone defending an uplink when you could be doing it with your team and much faster? Think about it. What about perks? What can you use here to speed up your progress or make things easier? Well, I usually use squad maneuvers and share it for that extra movement speed. After all, you need to run a lot, right? Most charisma team perks can be useful here too, such as team medic and bodyguards. I often use stamina perks as well to help me kill enemies faster in VATS or even run for longer periods. Again, you need to run and run and run. Damage legendary perks are extremely helpful as well, especially the explosion ones, because they help you kill several enemies at once, so it's a wave clear, so you kill one enemy and others around it will die as well. It's beautiful when that happens. There's definitely a lot of perks you can use to adapt. Anything with dodge, utility, extra damage or stamina can help you here. Next, when you start a daily operation with other players, make sure to stay in sync. You don't want everyone to go to the repeater. What for? If you see one of your teammates going for the repeater already, then make your way to one of the uplinks to save time, or vice versa. If everyone goes for the uplink, then the repeater is not done and you cannot proceed. The key here is to be efficient and speed up the process, not to delay it, so avoid making player trains at the very start. Something else I see often is players getting too immersed into killing enemies and they end up outside of the uplink's range. Now, this slows down the progress by a lot, and it could mean you don't finish in time for the tier you want. I mean, if there are 2 or 3 players, even 4, and only one stays at the uplink, then it's almost the same as if you were soloing, right? As such, make sure to give the uplinks a nice and warm hug. Do not wander off, kill enemies from afar, and make sure the progress is going up accordingly as it should be. Most of the time, when players die, they wait for a teammate to revive them. However, in daily ops, that's not always a great idea. Here's why. First, it can get bugged. Secondly, enemies can block your body and prevent other players from getting you up. You will also interrupt the killing momentum and waste everybody's time trying to get to you, more or less. Now, most importantly, if you die, you will always get revived close to the uplinks, or at least the one that is active, which means you can give up. And it's the best option here. It's efficient, it's quick, and now with the respawn bug fixed, it's safe too. So do it. Alright, it's not always possible to quickly kill enemies, but they can easily kill you when you are exposed, especially bloodied build players. As such, you should use the surrounding items as cover, especially against certain mutations like Resilient. You want enemies to come to you in order to keep the uplink going. You don't want to go to them and risk slowing down the operation. Plus, you can also take cover to quickly repair gear or even to use a steam pack safely, so don't disregard walls, tall items, and so on. They can be your best friend every now and then. Another trick I use often is to start running to the next uplink when the first one is about to be done. Of course, this only works in a team, but it's a nice way to save some seconds and get things running faster. In the end, every second counts, and it's really satisfying when you finish a few seconds before the next tier. Then you know every single second really counts. In daily ops, you will kill dozens and dozens of enemies, and the great part is that they drop the same ammo you use to kill them or random ammo if you use melee weapons. But when you are focusing on completing the mission as fast as possible, you shouldn't waste time looking for the bodies and then looting them. No, no, no. I mean, if enemies die near you, sure, go ahead and loot them while you move or focus on another enemy, but please do not go out of your way to loot bodies one by one while ignoring the objective. Don't worry, you can just come back later to loot as much as you want. Now, unless you are doing daily ops to farm experience and alone, you shouldn't focus on killing every single enemy you encounter. Here's my rule: if you're not doing an objective, then ignore enemies, run past them until you reach the next objective point. Then you can kill as many enemies as you want there, as long as the uplinks are boosting the connection, that is. Also, in the last wave, you should kill all the enemies you find as fast as possible to force the boss to spawn. Well, once you spot the boss, don't hold back. Use everything you got on him, because, my friends, as you surely noticed by now, this beast can take you down in a blink of an eye. Plus, bosses sometimes spawn in strange places in the main areas, and it can take a while for you to find them, which means lost time. I finished a lot of operations where we were literally a few seconds from the next tier, so make sure to kill the boss as fast as possible to complete the mission in time. Lastly, it's time to go back and collect all the free ammo and items you left behind. Do not click escape though, do not proceed to the operation rewards before you are done looting the place. I know it's not the best system out there, it's quite boring and it takes time. I usually click escape trying to access photo mode or because I forget I have to loot the bodies, but it is the way it is. If you need ammo, go ahead and loot everything as much as you can. If not, well, proceed and do what you have to do. You can also sell the ammo, you can do a lot with it. If you are too rich to care, well, you know what to do, I guess. I got one more extra point for you, which is how to counter known heavy bugs. First of all, we have the uplink freeze bug, which looks like this. The uplink progression will stop and nothing will bring it back. Yep, there is no way around it, so don't lose time waiting for a miracle, which will never happen. Just quit the operation and start it new. Next, we have a visual bug which shows both uplinks are active when one has already been completed. Do not worry here, just keep going, doing what you have to do because, well, it's a visual bug as I mentioned. Something else to know is that players can interrupt your repeater and uplink boost process by just getting in the way. Yep, it just stops the link like that. So avoid getting close to the player interacting with his items. Lastly, the freeze debuff from the freezing touch mutation can sometimes get stuck on you. This means you will be forever in slow motion. The only way to fix this is to relog, so you will have to endure the freeze until your operation is finally completed. Yeah, then you can relog and everything should be back to normal. These are my 17 strategies to rush daily ops and increase your chances of getting all the new rare rewards. I hope you were able to learn something new here. I am currently using most of these tips in my runs, and so far things are going really steady. Still, you should expect some days to come empty-handed. The 20% chance to get nothing seems to trigger rather often, sadly. If you have ults, then you should definitely use them to try and get more rare stuff per day. That's it for this video. I am Marta Branco. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more like this. You can also check the links below if you would like to support me even further. That's it. I will see you all very soon in the next video. Until then, take care. Adios. Bye bye.